Have you ever been listening to a song and just thought, how did they even make that sound? Well, you might be surprised to learn it probably wasn't in some giant fancy studio. Nope, it was probably made right on a computer. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it's done.
Seriously, think about it. That beat that's been stuck in your head for a week, that vocal that sounds absolutely perfect, or that crazy sci-fi sound effect. There's a really good chance it all came to life inside a laptop, maybe even from an artist's bedroom. It's pretty wild.
So, when I say studio, you're probably picturing those huge mixing boards with a million knobs and buttons, right? The kind you see in movies. But for so many producers and artists today, the entire studio, it's just one piece of software.
Now, this whole digital studio is basically a creative sandbox for sound. It's a place where you can build literally anything you can imagine. Not with sand or blocks, but with audio.
Now, the official name for this software is a digital audio workstation, or for short, everyone just calls it a DAW. The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's basically Photoshop, but for sound. It's mission control. It's where you put all the different layers of your song, the drums, the bass, the vocals, everything, and you make them all play together perfectly.
Okay, so you've got your DAW open, but it's just a blank screen. It's empty. To make music, you obviously need sounds. So how do you even get them in there? Well, it turns out there are two main ways to do it.
First up, we have sampling. This is where you take a tiny piece of a sound that's already been recorded. It could be a single drum hit, a cool chord from an old record, a line from a movie, or even the sound of your friend laughing, and you use that as a building block. It is literally like taking a screenshot of a sound so you can use it later. The second way is with something called MIDI. Now, MIDI is super cool because it isn't actually sound at all. It's just a set of instructions. Think of it like this. In a video game, there's code that tells your character to jump, right? The code isn't the jump itself, it just tells the character what to do. That's MIDI. It tells your computer what note to play, how hard to play it, and for exactly how long.
So to make it super simple, a sample is the actual sound, that audio screenshot we talked about. MIDI, on the other hand, is the recipe, the command that tells a virtual instrument inside your computer how to make a sound. There are two totally different ways to get to the same goal, making awesome music.
All right, now you've got your sounds in the DAW, whether they're samples or from MIDI. This is where the real fun starts. It's time to give those sounds some superpowers using digital effects.
Inside your DAW, you have this huge toolkit of effects that can completely warp and transform a sound from something kind of plain into something totally epic. Let's just look at a couple of the big ones you hear in pretty much every song.
First up is reverb. This is the effect that makes the sound feel like it's in a real place. So you can use reverb to make a singer sound like they're in a massive cathedral, or make a drum hit sound like it's in a tiny, echoey bathroom. It's all about creating a vibe and an atmosphere.
Then you've got distortion. Oh yeah, this adds that grit, that fuzz, that power to a sound. It's what makes electric guitars scream. But producers are sneaky. They use it on everything, from bass lines to vocals, just to give them a little more energy. It really is like putting your sound into rage mode. But what if you don't want to use a sound that already exists? What if you want to make a sound that nobody has ever heard before? Well, that's where sound synthesis comes in. This is literally the art of creating a sound from absolute scratch, just by using digital building blocks.
And all this stuff, the sampling, the synthesis, the effects, it all falls under this bigger idea called sound design. This is just the art of crafting the perfect sound for a specific job, whether that's the massive, earth-shaking bass in a dance track or the pew-pew of a laser gun in a video game.
Okay, deep breath. You've gathered your sounds, you've given them superpowers, now it's time to build them into an actual song. This is where you arrange everything and give it that final polish to make it shine. This part is called audio editing, and honestly, it's a lot like editing a school paper or a video for social media. You can cut out the bits you don't like, copy and paste the chorus so it repeats, move whole sections around to build the song's structure, and of course, adjust the volume of every single track so it all sounds balanced. One of the most powerful tools here is looping. This is where you take one tiny section, like a 2-second drum beat, and you just tell the computer to repeat it perfectly, over and over again. This is the foundation of so much modern music. It lets artists build up these really complex tracks by just layering different loops on top of each other.
And hey, what if your timing is a little off when you play something? No big deal. There's a tool called quantization. It's basically a snap-to-grid feature for your music. It automatically nudges any sloppy notes right into the perfect spot, making your rhythm sound super tight and professional.
I'm sure you've heard of this next one, pitch correction. You might know it by its famous brand name, Auto-Tune. This tool can listen to a singer's voice and digitally fix any notes that are a little bit flat or sharp. Now, it can be used just to clean things up so you don't even notice it, or it can be cranked to the max to get that iconic robotic vocal sound you hear all over pop and hip-hop.
And you can get even crazier with it. You can automate stuff, which just means you tell the computer to change a setting all by itself over time. For example, you can program the volume to slowly fade in, or an effect to get more intense during the chorus. It's like programming a special combo move for your sounds.
So after all that hard work, the editing, the effects, the arrangement, your track is finally done. The very last step is to package it all up so you can actually share it with the world.
And this means you have to export your song into a file. The two most common formats you'll see are WAV, which is super high quality but the files are huge, and MP3, which is a much smaller file that's perfect for Spotify or for sending to your friends, even though it loses a tiny bit of sound quality.
So what does all this mean? It means the computer has totally changed the game. It's taken the power of music creation out of those multi-million-dollar studios and put it directly into the hands of anyone with a laptop and an idea. It's a whole new type of digital art and it's open to everybody.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. Since these amazing tools are available to literally anyone, anywhere, the next huge hit song or the next brand new genre of music we've never even heard of could come from anybody. It could come from you. So the real question is, what's it going to sound like? Thanks for watching.